Good evening and a very warm welcome to the KDF Weekly Bulletin, your trusted source for weekly updates on military activities, from operational highlights to the latest development at the Ministry of Defense. I'm your host, Sergeant Kasim Ali, and here are our top stories tonight. Honorable Tuya appears before the National Assembly Committee. Chief of the Defense Forces meets United States AFRICOM Commander. Kenya Army marks 60 years of airborne excellence. Kenya Navy holds division parade at Mtongwe Base. Kenyan Peacekeepers pass United Nations operational effectiveness test. And in sports, Kenya Defense Forces Ulinzi Stars captain shines in CHAN Championship. To start us off, Honorable Soipan Tuya, the Cabinet Secretary for Defense, appeared before the National Assembly Departmental Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations, chaired by Honorable Nelson Koech, the Member of Parliament for Belgut at Bunge Towers in Nairobi. The session addressed several questions raised by members of Parliament, including concerns from the Member of Parliament for Turkana North, Honorable Ekom Nabwin, who expressed concerns about the killing of Kenyan fishermen in Lake Turkana earlier this year by armed assailants in Todonyang along the Kenya-Ethiopia border.
Just to appreciate the supplementary question.
In response, Honorable Tuya said the Kenya Defense Forces had intensified patrols and troop presence along the border in line with its constitutional mandate.
Free meal plan as it has been, personnel on training and other specialized assignments, continue with the meal plan as it has been.
She announced plans to establish forward operating bases in the area to minimize such incidents. The Cabinet Secretary also said that the ministry's recent successful transition from an exchequer-funded lunch program for KDF personnel in peacetime locations to the pay-as-you-eat model was in line with international military best practices. In other news, the Cabinet Secretary for Defense, Honorable Soipan Tuya, met with Ambassador Major General Retired Lucas Tumbo, the chairman of the Military Veterans Advisory Committee at Defense Headquarters. The purpose of the meeting was to review the progress of initiatives aimed at improving the welfare of retired Kenya Defense Forces officers and service members. The meeting follows the enactment of the Military Veterans Act in June 2022, which has guided the Ministry of Defense in implementing programs to improve veterans' livelihoods. Discussions focused on the status of ongoing projects and explored opportunities to accelerate pending aspects. Ambassador Major General Retired Tumbo was accompanied by the Director of Military Veterans at Defense Headquarters, Brigadier Moses Leriari.
General Charles Kahariri, the Chief of the Defense Forces, met with United States Africa Command Commander General Michael Langley at AFRICOM Headquarters, Stuttgart, Germany, for a high-level bilateral talks and the release of the inaugural African Chiefs of Defense Joint Communique. The meeting confirmed the security partnership between Kenya and the United States while addressing challenges to regional stability and security in the Horn of Africa and its maritime domains.
General Langley commended the crucial role of the Kenya Defense Forces in peace operations in Somalia. Meanwhile, General Kahariri expressed concern that the recent reduction of troops from the African Union Support Mission in Somalia, AWSOM, could jeopardize security gains. He called for renewed global support for the Somali peace process. Furthermore, General Kahariri thanked the United States government and the United States Africa Command for their support. He urged the international community to reaffirm its commitment to the Somali peace process and the broader stability of the Horn of Africa. The two commanders released the first ever African Chiefs of Defense joint communique signed in Stuttgart, Germany. Co-signed by General Kahariri and General Langley, the document captures priorities agreed by 38 African delegations during African Chiefs of Defense Conference 2025 in Nairobi and provides a framework for collective action ahead of African Chiefs of Defense Conference 2026. The communique outlines 5 priorities: renewing and expanding security partnerships, establishing a shared vision for security, driving innovation against emerging threats, strengthening defense institutions, and promoting African leadership in safeguarding the continent. General Kahariri said the communique will guide defense collaboration and reforms over the next year ahead of African Chiefs of Defense Conference 2026.
Dr. Patrick Mariru, the Principal Secretary for Defense, hosted His Excellency Matsura Hiroshi, Japan's ambassador to Kenya, at Ulinzi House in Nairobi. The duo reviewed and discussed the progress of ongoing defense cooperation between Kenya and Japan ahead of the 9th Tokyo International Conference on Africa Development slated for next week. In national development news, the Principal Secretary for Defense, Dr. Mariru, inspected the ongoing construction of a new hospital block at the Mutuini Level 4 Sub-County Hospital in Dagoretti South, Nairobi County.
The project, which had stalled since 2021, has now resumed under the Ministry of Defense through the Kenya Defense Forces. Once completed later this year, the facility will be upgraded to a Level 5 hospital. This enhancement will improve access to specialized healthcare and help alleviate congestion in major referral hospitals in Nairobi County. The Principal Secretary emphasized the ministry's commitment to delivering quality public health infrastructure and reiterated the Defense Ministry's broader support for national development goals through strategic infrastructure projects.
The Commander, Kenya Army, Lieutenant General David Keter, presided over the signing of performance contracts for the financial year 2025-2026 by Kenya Army Formations Commanders and Chief of Branches at Kahawa Garrison.
The event highlights the alignment of formation and core level objectives with the strategic goals of the Ministry of Defense. Lieutenant General Keter stressed that these contracts are operational tools designed to turn strategic intent into measurable outcomes while ensuring prudent use of resources. He called on commanders to fully embrace their responsibilities, describing the signing as both a solemn vow and a rallying call to uphold the constitutional mandate. The ceremony was attended by the General Officer Commanding Eastern Command, Major General Luka Kuto, alongside senior Kenya Army officers.
Moving on, the Commander, Kenya Air Force, Major General Bernard Waliaula, visited the Kisumu Forward Operating Base to boost troop morale, assess operational readiness, and strengthen the commander's familiarization with bases and formations under his command.
Kisumu Forward Operating Base is a key installation for Kenya Defense Forces operations, providing air support, logistics, and rapid response capability in the Western region. Major General Waliaula toured facilities, reviewed infrastructure, and engaged with service members on ways to enhance the base's operational value. He commended their discipline, cleanliness, and dedication, urging them to maintain professionalism and pride in their duties. Brigadier Mahmoud Farah, the base commander Laikipia Air Base, thanked the commander for his visit, noting the continued support from Defense Headquarters and the Kenya Air Force. Also present were Brigadier Peter Limo, Managing Director of Defense Forces Welfare Services, senior officers, and service members.
In coastal region, the Commander, Kenya Navy, Major General Paul Otieno, presided over the biannual Navy divisions, a formal parade and inspection that reinforces naval cohesion and professionalism. The ceremony honors the tradition of divisions, which are the smallest units in the Naval Command. It promotes discipline, communication, and a strong sense of identity within the Navy.
Major General Otieno commended their role in ensuring maritime security and regional stability. He reaffirmed the Kenya Navy's commitment to professionalism, unity, and national service. In his remarks, Major General Otieno emphasized key priorities for the service, including discipline, physical fitness, environmental responsibility, modernization, and troop welfare.
I want to recognize you, I want to congratulate you, and to pronounce to you that I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of being the Navy commander, and you guys have done well. I'm confident that with unity, discipline, and purpose, we'll continue to excel as a formidable maritime force.
In other news, the Commander Kenya Navy hosted a delegation from the European Union Naval Force Operation Atlanta. The delegation was led by the Force Commander, Rear Admiral Francisco Javier Vasquez Sanz, at the Kenya Navy headquarters in Mtongwe, Mombasa. The visit aimed to enhance maritime security cooperation in the Indian Ocean, discussing capacity development, joint training, coordinated patrols, and collaborative efforts against illegal activities at sea. The delegation toured the full mission bridge simulator at the Kenya Naval Training College, a facility that provides immersive, high-fidelity ship bridge training for naval officers, sailors, and maritime agencies. Both parties reaffirmed their commitment to regional maritime stability through collaboration.
In a celebration to mark 60 years of airborne excellence, the Kenya Defence Forces soldiers from the Army Special Operations Brigade assembled at Kenyatta Barracks in Gilgil, Nakuru County to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Airborne Day. The celebrations commenced with a parade and wreath-laying ceremony at Brigade's monument, honoring the soldiers who made the ultimate sacrifice in defending the country.
The highlight of the day was a freefall jump by the Green Eagles freefall team, who were airdropped into the arena. Several individuals were honored for their contributions to the remarkable 60-year legacy of airborne excellence. They included Lieutenant General Daniel Opande, who was recognized for pioneering military parachuting and being the first African officer to command the first para company. Brigadier Paul Opio was acknowledged as a trailblazing Kenya Air Force officer who completed the para course. Lieutenant Colonel Okaka was recognized as the first Kenya Navy officer to finish the para course, and Warrant Officer Class 1 retired Hilary Osore was honored as the first Special Operations Force Sergeant Major. The chief guest, Commander Kenya Army Lieutenant General David Keter, commended the airborne troops for 6 decades of service marked by discipline, courage, and professionalism.
As we mark 60 years of Kenya Army Airborne Forces, 6 decades of excellence, service, and sacrifice. Today is not merely a celebration of longevity, but a solemn tribute to a proud legacy, a legacy forged through discipline, courage, innovation, and unyielding spirit of our paratroopers.
He emphasized the continued modernization of the airborne forces to meet emerging security challenges. He also commended the commander, Army Special Operations Brigade, Brigadier Ahmed Saman, for organizing the very successful 60th anniversary event. Brigadier John Jeru, commander of the Special Forces Operations Command, commended the families of airborne troops for their support.
While the Airborne Day is mostly spent recalling the valor of the men and women who died in combat or non-combat missions, we must never forget the survivors who have lost limbs, have permanent scars, lost hearing, eyesight, and others carry shrapnel in their bodies.
Retired Warrant Officer Class 1 Jonathan Ole Nangindas encouraged the troops to uphold professionalism and maintain high standards in their duties. Airborne Day is observed annually on 5th August to honor soldiers who died during parachute jumps in North Hor in 1979, as well as those lost in subsequent operations.
We take a short break. We will be back in a moment.
In the battlefield of the mind, every move counts. This is more than a game. It's precision and strategy. the same principles that define the Kenya Defence Forces. On 29 August 2025, from 0900 hours, the Chief of Defence Forces chess tournament comes to Ulinzi Sports Complex, where the board becomes a training ground for strategy and leadership. It's a contest that sharpens strategic thinking, strengthens esprit de corps, and uncovers top chess talents in the Kenya Defence Forces. All officers and service members are invited to be part of this prestigious battle of minds. Units are requested to forward participants to respective service headquarters for registration. Chief of Defence Forces Chess Tournament. Every move counts.
Welcome back. Moving on to operational matters, Kenyan Quick Reaction Force 4 troops serving under the United Nations Organization Stabilization Mission in the Democratic Republic of Congo, MONUSCO, successfully completed a comprehensive 5-day operational effectiveness inspection in Mavivi, North Kivu province.
The assessment evaluated the Quick Reaction Force's ability to respond to threats as well as their discipline and adherence to United Nations protocols. Led by Major Ulia Shazad Rafa, the Deputy Chief Evaluator, the MONUSCO inspection team praised the Kenyan contingent as mission-ready, highlighting their high standards of professionalism and preparedness. Major Rafa commended the troops for their performance in both theoretical and practical assessments, a sentiment echoed by his colleagues. Lieutenant Colonel Simon Seda, the commander of the Kenyan Quick Reaction Force 4 contingent, welcomed the positive review and emphasized the importance of third-party evaluations in enhancing operational capacity.
And in sports, we feature KDF's national treasure. He is a soldier, a footballer, and now among Harambee Stars heroes in the ongoing CHAN tournament. Senior Private Boniface Mushiri, the Ulinzi Stars captain, played a key role in Kenya's remarkable 1-0 victory over Morocco, which is considered one of the greatest upsets in the CHAN championship, yet achieved with just 10 men on the field. Our sports desk spoke with him to learn how the Kenya Defence Forces has influenced his football journey. Take a look.
On the pitch, he is a standout forward, fueling Kenya's attack for Harambee Stars. Off the field, he is a disciplined soldier, serving the nation with pride. Meet Boniface Mushiri, a man balancing 2 uniforms and 1 mission to fight for Kenya. Kenya's victory over Morocco at the CHAN tournament was a match to remember. For Ulinzi Stars forward Boniface Mushiri, it was a proud moment in both his football and military career.
Kenya versus Morocco was a tough game, but playing against Africa's elite team, one of the best team in Africa, it showed us what we can do and where we are. So it was an amazing feeling, and I'm glad that I played part of it. So I was really happy to be part of that moment.
Playing against one of Africa's top sides, Mushiri was instrumental in keeping Kenya's attack alive even after the Harambee Stars were reduced to 10 men. He attributes his focus under pressure to the discipline and mental toughness he developed while serving in the Kenya Defence Forces. For Boniface Mushiri, the CHAN tournament is more than just football. It is a test of resilience and belief. When Kenya was reduced to 10 men against Morocco, Mushiri says giving up was never an option.
When we went to 10 men down, it was like this is our moment. We cannot give up, so it's about we need to double our efforts. We need to work more hard so that we play as a unit and we play as a team to make sure that we come out victorious, and that's what we did, and we thank God we got the victory against Morocco.
As a soldier in the Kenya Defence Forces and a key player for Ulinzi Stars, Muchiri attributes his military background to shaping his approach to football. The values of discipline, resilience and teamwork instilled through his KDF training have become the foundation of his performance on the pitch.
A game against Angola, against Morocco, we went down to 10 men. It was about now teamwork. We had to double our effort. We had to play for one another. We had to support one another and to make sure that we play as a team. And that's why we came out victorious. And I used the same thing in Kenya Defence Forces. You cannot go alone. You have to go with your teammates. You have to go with your mates so that you make things easy.
The Ulinzi Stars forward credits his success in balancing a military career and a professional football to the values entrenched in him by the Kenya Defence Forces.
Military training in Kenya Defence Forces has really shaped me when it comes to the foundation of discipline and mental toughness. You have to adapt in any situation. You have to be ready. You have to be aggressive in everything you do and to give your very best in everything you do.
He encouraged young soldiers in the Kenya Defence Forces to believe in their dreams, remain disciplined, and work hard to take advantage of the opportunities available to them. From the barracks to the big stage, Boniface Muchiri exemplifies how service and sport can coexist with discipline as the key to success.
For me, I'll just tell them to believe in their dream, to be more disciplined and to be more consistent in what they do. It's not about football alone. Even in other sports, they should continue working hard and give their best and to believe in themselves in everything they do.
Looking ahead, Boniface's goals are as ambitious as his journey. He is determined to elevate Kenyan football, assist the Harambee Stars in qualifying for major tournaments, and continue serving the Kenya Defence Forces with honor while mentoring the next generation.
For my KDF career is to give my best so that I make my members, service members also to realize that they can do it. If I can do it and I'm a member of Kenya Defence Forces, they can also do it with being consistent, being hardworking, and being, knowing exactly what you want in life. If you know exactly what you want in life, you will just work hard for that, and you will give your best in everything that you do in Kenya Defence Forces.
From the Kenya Defence Forces, we wish all the best to Harambee Stars in their upcoming matches at the CHAN Championship. And that's it for this week. We thank you for spending your time with us and look forward to your lively engagement through our official social media platforms. Join us again next week for another edition of the Kenya Defence Forces Weekly Bulletin. I have been your host, Sergeant Kasim Ali. Goodbye and be blessed.